Today we're going to crack open a tool that a lot of us use but maybe don't fully understand, the Better Business Bureau Profile. We're going to learn how to read between the lines and, find the real story that's hiding in plain sight.
It's the big question, right? The one we all ask before we hire someone or buy something. We head over to profiles like the BBBs looking for a quick answer. But are we actually reading them the right way? Well, it's time to find out.
So for the next few minutes, you and I are going to be detectives. We're going to take one single BBB profile and just see what clues we can dig up, starting with the obvious stuff and then getting into the hidden details. Let's start the investigation.
Okay, first up, the first glance. This is all the stuff your brain takes in almost instantly, the second you land on the page.
Our subject for today's deep dive is a company called the Sanders All-Star Team, LLC. We're about to put their profile right under the microscope. And right off the bat, things are looking great. You see that big A rating shining at the top and that seal for being a BBB accredited business? Honestly, for a lot of people, the search would probably stop right here. It looks like a slam dunk, doesn't it?
But we're not going to stop there. Let's move on and figure out how to decode that rating. Because that letter grade, it's more than just a score. It's a whole story.
First, let's talk about that accredited seal. What does that even mean? Well, according to the BBB, it's basically a promise from the business to meet their standards for trust. It's an important piece of the puzzle, for sure, but it is not the whole picture.
Because right below that pretty A rating, we find our first little clue. The profile lists 2 complaints filed against the business. Interesting. An A rating, but there are complaints on record? The picture is already getting a little more complicated. And that brings us to a really crucial point. That letter grade is based on this complex calculation of a bunch of factors, including how a company responds to complaints. It absolutely does not mean they've never had any.
Okay, so now that we've scratched a little beneath the surface of the rating, let's try to figure out who this company actually is. Like, what do they even do?
And whoa, hold on a second. This is where our investigation gets really interesting. The official BBB category is roofing contractors. But if you read their own description, they say they do landscaping design. Wait, what? Roofing and landscaping are 2 very different things. That's a huge red flag.
And the next clue only makes things weirder. The profile says the business started way back in 1912, which would make it 113 years old. I mean, that's an impressive legacy, if it's true.
So let's just pause and think about what we've got. We have a century-old company with a great A rating that apparently can't decide if it fixes roofs or plants flowers. Something definitely feels off here. The plot is thickening. All right, let's see if we can clear some of this up by looking at what actual people have said. People who've used the company. Time to check the witness statements. The customer reviews.
So our first review from a Kelly F. is all about yard work, spring cleanup, leaf removal, mulch. Okay, that is Exhibit A for the landscaping team. No mention of a roof anywhere.
And the second review from Ryan N. talks about installing an irrigation system. That's another vote for landscaping. So far, all the evidence from customers points one way, but that official category points somewhere else completely.
Okay, for our final section, we're going to the one place most people skip, the fine print. Let's see what secrets are buried in the details of this profile.
Way down in the additional information part of the profile, we find this incredibly long and, very modern list of payment methods.
But just think about it. How odd is that for a company that's supposedly 113 years old? Whether they're roofers or landscapers, Bitcoin, Venmo, it just feels completely out of place and raises even more questions. This is our final clue before the big reveal.
And there it is, buried deep inside the About This Business section, right there in plain sight, is this one sentence. Please note, this is a BBB test/sample business and not a real business.
So, case solved. The whole profile is basically a teaching tool created by the BBB itself. And that's what makes this so brilliant. The contradictions we found, the roofing versus landscaping, the crazy age, the weird payment methods, they were all put there on purpose to show you exactly what to look for.
So, what did our little investigation teach us? Here is your new 3-step checklist. Number 1, always look beyond the letter grade. 2, check for those contradictions. In the real world, this could mean the info is outdated, or it could be a major red flag. And 3, always read the fine print in the About This Business section.
You know how to spot the clues now.
So the next time you look up a business, you're not just going to see the A rating, you're going to see the whole story. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.